Lilacs are a wonderful plant for your garden, but they can also bring some challenges. So I'm going to walk you through how to care for your lilac and get the most out of it. In addition to showing you how to prune your lilac, I'm also going to walk you through over 10 tips and tricks for caring for them as well. When you want to trim your lilac, start at the buds or the finished flowers, go down 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, and start right here. Take all that off. Start at 1 set where the flowers are coming, 2 set where there's just leaves, and set number 3, just when the leaves are shooting out left and right, take out that just above. Here's a quick look at a few being removed, and I'll show you more as we go. Here's one where I didn't finish the job. There's one shooting off here, one shooting off there, and there's a set below it. I'm going to go right to that set below. Nice big dominant leaves on the outside, and the little bit smaller leaves, they're fine. These are the ones that will eventually shoot out more of the flowers, but you want to have a lot of leaves to make sure it gains a lot of sun. Here's a sample where there's 1 set of flowers here, set of leaves, 2 on this side, actually 2 on both sides. Too many leaves, there won't be any blooms there, there's not enough room. Here's another one, little leaves, but look below that, it already shot up a bloom. I'm going to go right below that one and take it out. Anywhere there's flowers, take off below there. Some of these branches, the leaves are buried a little bit too far in and they're too small. So I'm just going just below the leaf set, or sorry, just above the leaf set and just below the bloom. When planting new lilacs, any version of a lilac, in particular bloomerangs, you want to plant them in early spring. If you plant in the summer, they could get a little bit of heat shock and not grow as well and do well over time. Lilacs need a minimum of 6 hours of bright, full sunlight. Try to avoid shaded areas, or if they get a little bit of shade, maybe in the morning or evening, that's okay. But get them as much direct light as possible. Make sure that their soil is well drained, but also water them well, that way they don't dehydrate. If you want to fertilize your lilac, I recommend using an organic fertilizer. They're safer, and you're not having to deal with so many chemicals, especially if you're going to get near your vegetables and everything. During mid to late summer, it's a good idea to remove any of those suckers off of the lilac. Those are leaves that are overextending through the entire shrub, bush, and kind of taking up too much nutrients and being a little lanky and not as pretty. One of the best things you could do for your lilac is a rich compost. If you have a compost by the side of your garden, definitely use that and add that to the soil over time. Most lilacs, if you take really good care of them, can live up to 100 years or more, and they start shooting out babies, which is a huge benefit. This is a really big warning, and a lot of people make this mistake with lilacs. They don't like acidic soil, so do not add coffee grounds to your lilacs. I'm showing you some last minute trimmings right here, but as you continue the watch, you'll see how I also take new or baby lilacs and I plant them into my garden as well. Don't get me wrong, the common lilac is beautiful, it smells great, but I personally have fallen in love with the bloomerangs, and that's why I'm adding more to my garden. Even the little babies, you want to get those Don't let any of the flowers stay. For these little babies, I'm just cutting down to the first leaf set, right below the flower, because the branches are so tiny. I want to make sure they have enough leaf and node area to grow a second set of flowers. You can take a look at the progress so far. You can see I still have a bit more to do, but it's looking good. If you only have a tiny bit of flowers off of one branch, like this one, just come here and cut it right at the flower. Don't cut any more leaves. Here's another one, tiny, right at the flowers. After a few minutes, it still keeps a beautiful rounded shape. I'm purposely having mine grow more height than width, and that's how I choose to prune mine. But you could also have it grow nice and wide as well. They can get anywhere from 3 to 6 to 8 feet wide and also tall, depending on how you treat them. But they're an absolutely beautiful bush, great border for your property. And if you want to get even more blooms, you can, once the blooms start to fade about 3/4 of the way, you only have about 1/3 of your flowers left, start pruning then. I know, yes, you're then losing the smell, but you can encourage more blooms faster that way too. I want to give you a really good example of what I did last year. If you come inside here, you see this little Y shape branched off. This is where I cut from last year. Tiny little stick that this was of a shrub, of a lilac, and it shot out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 nodes shot out branches. These 2 branches shot out beautiful big giant flowers. The little ones did not that to say they couldn't, but that's where it was. This is what it became. So this is how every year it'll double and double and double in size. And you can see by cutting just above how it'll shoot out more branches, more flowers, more enjoyment. I love, love, love Bloomerang lilacs. These are my baby Bloomerang lilacs, and when I got them from the garden store, they said, oh, they haven't started blooming yet. Well, that's not true. They already bloomed. A way you can tell they already bloomed is if you look inside that little, looks like it's supposed to be a flower. If there's a little cup shape inside, or you can see a little divot, that tells you that the flower is already spent. So it's best to prune it, which I will do for these. I will not let these continue to grow because it's only going to focus on creating nothing but the blooms. So I want to focus on blooms. With such a small and young plant like this, I will not take off as much as you expect. I will only take off right at the flower. I won't take off lower. Well, actually this one is all flower, so I will take off lower there. But in this case, I won't take off any lower than here because I need this long branch to soak up the sun and then shoot out another one to produce flowers. Good news right here. Look at all these flowers that are spent, but look right behind it. There's brand new growth right here. That will start to turn into more flowers, as long as I get these guys away to stop slowing it down. Here's a good example of this whole branch right here is nothing but flowers. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of what looks like to be a little Y. See how there's new growth right here? And it Y's off with leaves and flowers. I will cut off the flowers, but I'll chop there, leave that leaf, take out that flower. I have my hole dug here for my Bloomerang lilac. I'm going to place it inside and judge really quick so you can see right up to the soil line of the pot. You don't want to dig it too high because then you'll prevent this from growing properly and you can rot this out. And then I have it about twice as wide. My soil is extremely sandy. I'm not worried about those roots spreading. It'll be completely fine. If you have clay or hard soil, dig twice the size and put some soft soil around there. That way you allow the roots to spread as quickly as possible and develop a strong hold into your garden. But in my case, they're just going to dig right through, no problem. Look at how root bound that was. I'll cut up those roots just a little bit to loosen them, and then they'll be good. Planted number one right here. And one thing I wanted to show you, because I have sandy soil and that water disappears quick, I created a little mud puddle right here that I will fill up the water. That way it doesn't just roll down immediately if it becomes a little bit, I guess it's preventing a runoff essentially. And then same thing here. One thing I forgot to mention, I wish I did this earlier, but when I dig my holes, I first saturate the hole all over. My soil was very dry because we've been missing a few rains. Saturate the hole, then put your plant in, saturate it again, then put the soil in halfway, saturate it again. I have sandy soil, so this works for me. Clay soil holds more moisture, so that's a different situation. Came back in, put the topsoil on, saturated it again. And this will help me essentially, if I miss a day, it's not that critical because the ground is damp and they won't dry out and go into shock from being transplanted from their pot into a different soil base. And as you can see, I still have to prune this one. What a difference. This is unpruned. You see all that brown flowers right there? This one over here is pruned. And then this big one obviously is my baby. Oh, over here, if you were wondering, this is oregano. Perfect plant to pair. That's as tall as it'll get. This shrub, this lilac, will get 2, 3, 4 times the height. It'll be a nice ground cover for it, help to hold in moisture, and the roots don't get too crazy too, so they will not fight each other. They will work together, hold in moisture, attract butterflies. I love you, so you're awesome. But yes, hope you enjoyed and keep on gardening.